Hello everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Phoenix Draconis, and this is Kaon Reviews. Now, as you saw in the intro, today's review video is going to focus on Transformers Studio Series Windcharger as he appears in Transformers the movie. Now, I have to say, I've seen so many reviews of this figure. I mean, I wanted to put him as part of the setup I had on my bookcase here before I wound up selling him. I didn't even know he was going to be out, otherwise I would have tried to hold on to it. But he's not a bad looking figure. At least from what I've seen in other reviewers. Now, he's got some really great artwork here, which does wrap around here, and it does show part of the Battle of Autobot City. And of course, you do see a close-up of Windcharger here. And you do see, his product shots of him in vehicle mode, transform, and his force field abilities. And you do see a shot of the original poster art. Now, I can only assume the reason they did that is because the only time you actually ever saw Windcharger, and I do apologize for bringing up a traumatic experience for those of us that saw the original 86 movie. Yeah. Yeah, it was not a pretty sight. But nonetheless, there he is. And without any more ado, let's go ahead and get him opened up. All right, there he is out of his box and ready to do battle. And as you can see, he is already armed with his primary weapon as well as his force shield emitter. And very, very nice. I really like how they had done this figure. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so you can take a closer look. Man. This is pretty awesome looking. I really like this. Now I have to say, I don't think I ever had the original G1 Windcharger. I think I may have had the, I want to say the Titan Returns, Windcharger. Though whether or not I still have them, I have no idea. Over the past few months, I've been basically out of work, and I've just been selling anything that was or is worth any value. And because I do collect plastic crack, yeah. So I do have my Macari page on my description, so you're more than welcome to look at it. But let's go ahead and continue on with this figure here. You do see the shield emitter. I'm going to take that off, and this is very, very hard plastic, and man, this thing is really tight on there. But let's take a look at that head sculpt. That is so awesome looking. There we go. That is awesome. But let's go ahead and zoom out so you can take a larger look at the figure. It's got some really good molded details, as you can see when the light hits it. Very, very nice. And you can tell they tried to go ahead and keep his look. One thing I really wish they had done was, make this inner piece red, so that way when he's in robot mode, it still blends in with the rest of his body. And I keep on hitting this thing, sorry about that. And then this, of course, would be like a blue or black. But, I mean, at the very least, try and keep it uniform, you know? And the same for back here, you know. But, again, once it's transformed into vehicle mode, you know, no one's going to see this. But still, you know, that at least keep it uniform, you know? But again, that's just my take on it. And, yeah, there he is. So his head, is tight as hell to turn around, but it can only go left and right. That's it. It taps onto the back here. And luckily this is on a ball joint. And you can snap it back on. So it's on a ball joint. You can do 360. Has rotation at the elbow. Can bend around 90 degrees. The hands can fold in, but that's due to transformation. It's also on a ball joint, but because... I'm trying to see if I can try and... You can partially do wrist rotation, but it is difficult as hell. And I'm not planning on breaking this, so I'm just going to leave it alone. He does have waist rotation, which again is tight. Every part of this figure is tight. So he can kick up 90 degrees, kick back over 90 degrees. Has upper thigh rotation, can... Oh, right there. Good God. He's got knee rotation, and he's got another, or not rotation, but knee bend. He's got another one here. And there is no, right up here. Right by the knee, there is a tilt right there. So you can have them in some really unique poses. And let's go ahead and see if he can do the Kung Fu kick. Can he do the Kung Fu kick? Let's see. Can he? Yes, he can do the Kung Fu kick. Alrighty. So I'm probably going to go ahead and take some shots of him for the end cap, and I will be right back with transformation. Okay, here is Windcharger ready for transformation. Now, in preparation, I did take off his weapons and his other accessory. So let's go ahead and get him transformed. So one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to take these hands and fold them in like so. I'm going to do the same over here. There we go. Now, one of the things we're going to also do is make sure that everything is kind of tabbed together. And I'm going to take these portions here and untab it. And these wheel wells here are going to fold out. And there'll be a soft tab right there. Now at this point, we're just going to untab here on the back and just pull that out like so. And then we're just going to fold this up. Now, of course, you can probably do this, though I don't think it was meant to do that, so I'm just going to keep the head pointing down, so he will have visible head syndrome going on there. And we're just going to fold these on the side like so, and then just tab this here. All right, so far so good. So at this point we're just going to fold this in. And just start snapping everything together. And there we go. That is it. Very simple transformation. Now, of course, he does have some storage. And for his weapon, I don't think there is. That's kind of sad, because I would have loved to have been able to peg this somewhere to where he can be able to have like a exhaust pipe or something like that. But nope, nothing like that. But this, you can actually, on this bottom peg that kind of sticks out, you can peg it right into this port here. So that way it kind of looks like he's emitting some sort of, some sort of energy shield. But not too bad, though. Not too bad. I want to do that again here. So there he is, like that. There we go. Very, very nice. Alrighty. So I'm going to go ahead and see about doing a little bit of a size comparison. And I do see a figure we can probably use. So give me a couple of minutes and I'll be right back. All right, and here is Windcharger along with Studio Series 86 RC. Now, I know the scene is not true to the movie, but hey, I'm being optimistic here. Anyway, not bad. They do scale pretty well, and not a bad coupling in this case. So let's go ahead and take a look in their vehicle modes, and I'll be right back. All right, and there they are in vehicle mode, and not too bad, though. It looks like Windcharger looks a little bit souped up in a way. But again, we're also talking about a futuristic roadster over here too. So, so they're going to look a little bit off here and there. But I have to say, not too bad. So, give me a few minutes to go ahead and take a couple of shots. And I'll be right back with my final thoughts as well as my score. All right, I am back. Thank you for waiting. I really appreciate your patience. Now here we have Windcharger all by his lonesome, and I have to say I am very impressed with this figure. I really am. This thing, I have to tell you, is super tight. It may be just my copy, or it may be the way it is all the way around. But I do want to at least make a note that be careful whenever you are transforming this. As you saw earlier, this popped off and I was able to pop it back on. This I just did on purpose just to illustrate. But, oh man, this is, this is just, this figure is really, really wild. I mean, as you can tell, I'm very, very impressed with it. I mean, like I said, the joints are tight. To get this weapon into his fist is tight. Even this is really tight, and this is really hard plastic too. So, I mean, man, this is, this is impressive. I think the only gripe I did have was they could have gone ahead and painted this back area. Even though it's going to get covered in vehicle mode, at least in robot mode, there at least be some, some semblance. And especially back here too, they could have painted that gray, or I should say this gray, into this gray here. So all the way around, it could have been done, honestly. But we will see what happens from this point. But if I have to give it a score on a scale of 1 through 10, I think I'm going to go ahead and give this figure a 10. He is really deserving of that score. And like I said, I think the only something else I did notice are the gaps on the side. But honestly, depending on how you pose them and whatnot, they're really not all that noticeable. But I think I did hear about an upgrade set that covers that gap edge up. So I may wind up getting that. But other than that, that is about it. Now, I wound up getting this figure from a friend of mine that I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to. Thanks a lot, Sean, for getting this for me. I really appreciate it. And, I mean, this is such an awesome figure. I really appreciate that. But that's my score. That's my take on the figure. I want to hear from you. Have you picked this boy up? And if so, did you like him? Did you hate him? Leave me a comment in the comment section down below. As always, like, share, subscribe to my channel. Click onto the bell icon so you can be notified whenever I post up new videos. This is Phoenix Draconis, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Peace.